Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.ProviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Lee Keddick, the head girls basketball coach of Sandia High School and also the 2017 state champs. And thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
What a run.
Yes.
You know, this is your second year of being the head coach, and not too many people get to that position, to ever make it to that position to win the state championship. But actually, you know, we talked a little bit earlier this morning about you were under the radar the whole season, and actually, you were under my radar too, because I follow. I don't go as many girls games, but I follow it, and I make two presents, like 3 or 4 games. Most of my stuff is in boys, but I know all the girls coaches pretty well, and it's always fun to watch it. But you know, coming into this year. You know, what was your expectations?
Our expectation, our stated goals this year, we wanted to earn a top 8 seed in the state tournament, earn a home game, and compete for a district title. Those were our stated goals.
I was going to say, usually when I talk to coaches, the first thing is just to get through districts. You know, I mean, a new coach is like, I want to make a presence that we're going to make a presence in the district, and then we'll go to the state tournament and see what happens.
Yeah, like you said, this is my second year,
right?
And we didn't get a top 8 seed the year before. We had to go down to Mayfield.
That's not a good place.
That's not a good place to go. The girls played very well, but we came up short to Coach Maya and
what a great coach Coach Maya is. I have so much respect for him, and just. I mean, he's an ambassador of girls basketball.
He really is. He makes it, even though you're going down there and you're probably going to get beat, he makes it fun for you. And it's really slaps you on the rear end on the way out. And no, he's a great guy, and I saw him walking around the pit after the game, along with several other area coaches that were very happy for us and for me.
You know, his team they played in the academy tournament, and we did the academy. So I did, you know, we did, you know, I watched their games. We did the first round of all day, and then we did the second day of the semifinals, and then the next day of the finals of the girls and boys basketball. And, you know, I was really surprised how great a job he did this year from where he was at the academy tournament.
Yeah, that's something about Coach that you know will happen. They will be much better by the end of the year. And they had that JC was a tremendous talent. I can't remember exactly where she's going, but she is a college player. And so he had her, and then you know he's going to make everybody on that roster better.
Well, going back to Sandia, I mean, you know, what a season. I mean, you a lot of close games. When I look in the score box, I was just even looking on my phone just a minute ago. It's just amazing the I would say the word parity is across. You know, I talked about that all year in boys basketball, but in girls. But it just seemed like the southern schools was like the team that everybody's talking was Hobbs and Carlsbad, and you know both of them going undefeated, going into district play, and whoever came out of that, it seemed like it was like, even when I was watching the selection, the seeding show, it was like, all right, what great bulletin board material. You know, guys, hey, you know what? Hey, Proview Networks, everybody's saying, hey, it's going to be Clovis and Hobbs. And I tell you what, it was neat to see 2 Metro teams in the finals. Yeah,
well, even going a step backward, we ended up with, because El Dorado was a Final Four team, so we ended up with 3 out of the 4 teams from not just from the metro area, but from our district in the Final Four. And of course, we played El Dorado in the semifinal and then La Cueva in the final. And I get along with Coach Perret and Coach Dixon very well, and they're rivals of ours for sure. But I was very happy for their success. I think it really showed well for not just, like I said, the Metro, but it showed our district.
And there's always that northern and southern presence,
right?
You know, I'm actually from Clovis, so right. I understand the know the mentality in the southern part, and then in the northern part, and I've been in here for since my college days, and,
right.
and it's been. I understand that there's a lot of pride in the northern part, and there's a lot of pride in the southern part, and people. The thing about the southern part of the state is that it's a little different than the metro areas. That's their school,
right?
I mean, it's and
some
so
free
there's a little
throws.
bit more.
Kerrigan.
I think when I was growing up in Clovis, you can't match what the community does for the high school, or the high school does for the community. You can reverse either role however you want, but the community supports all of the schools.
I tell you, I went down to, so I've helped Coach Barker with the football team for years, doing a lot of his video and stuff like that. And I in 2010 when we won state, his daughter Brittany Barker was the point guard on our team, and that's how I got to know him, and I love helping out with him. But I tell you what, I went down, to speak to your point, I went down to Carlsbad, I'm going to say it's 2 or 3 years ago, and we went down for their homecoming football game. And my buddy and I drove down with the video stuff, and we got there, and it was like the old-fashioned way of doing homecoming the right way, where when we got there, the main streets filled up with the parade. We get to the stadium, and the boys are getting driven up in the back of those convertibles, getting driven up to the stadium and popping right in the locker room. And then they have the dance directly after the football game all Friday day, and that's, that speaks to your point. They really make a big deal of it in those towns.
And going back to we're jumping a little bit back to football is, you got everybody wants or there's a lot of people petitioning to where they have, like basketball and volleyball and have it all in Albuquerque. But then when you use that, you lose the tradition of the hometown football teams, and until the last recently 6-7 years, I guess you would say that it was predominantly dominated by the southern part of the state. Now it's changing the guard with Cleveland and Rio Rancho, what Bruce Carver and they've done with those programs, and the coaches themselves with Ryan Iron and Coach House, what they've done. They've done a great, very impressive. But it's almost like the southern schools. I mean, the community is rallying around behind 2 schools.
Yeah, and it seems like they model their classes and their scheduling. They model it from what I understand. They model it a good deal after what a Clovis would do. Well,
it started with a guy named Bruce Carver who was played at Hobbs, and had Gilmore that won 5 state championships, and the girls I think that won some state championships in that same time. But it was the man, his mindset is to if you're going to hire me to come up here, this is what we're going to go do. And then they put as we all know, Rio Rancho. Cleveland's like the state of the art as far as it's almost like a city.
It's amazing.
A community athletic, junior college athletic facility. But don't I tell you what, Rio Rancho's not too far behind it with what the facilities they have there too.
Their football team this year was just amazing. I mean, it has to be. It has to be one of the best that we've seen in quite a while. They were unbelievably impressive this year, the Rio Rancho boys. Yeah, so they were incredible, and it seems like they're almost going year for year. So maybe next year's Cleveland's year. I don't know. That's funny. We should be talking about your girls' project, but that way you got me on the subject. And well, football's around the corner.
It's funny. The guys Scott Gleddy and Ed Nunez and Adam Dill were thinking about it. We're like, gosh, Yaffle. We started with Yaffle, and we met with Yaffle, and we're getting that schedule put together. And then all of a sudden, we need to get this schedule for football right now because it's next thing you know, we'll be talking about the selection of the seating show. It just happens that quick and everything. But almost kind of like your season when your first 2 years. I mean, your first year. Was kind of a wake-up call. I mean, and I think I was laughing jokingly with you, but you know, being an assistant coach, all assistant coaches think, man, I got it all figured out. I got it all. I have, you know, I have deal, and if I could just be the head coach, I could do the deal, and then all of a sudden, it happens, and it's just a change of.
You know, I had mentors that I'm so appreciative towards.
Guided you and gave you
and my thing was, my main thing is that, because I'm also a teacher at Sandia, my main thing has been, since I've started working at Sandia, like I said, I help with football as well, and I do some other things around campus. I love basketball, and to be the head coach is thrilling, but my mindset has always been one of the most important thing to me is being part of the Sandia community. And for each year that I worked with Coach Barker, with Coach Kabbalah, with Coach Broussard for a year, whatever position I was in, I just absolutely loved it. And so when this opportunity came, and I actually have that privilege, is you know, was shocking and awesome and great. But I think I was able to sort of take it all in stride, because every year, you know, you coach and you're assistant. Is it in the back of your head? Could you move up? Could you do that? And certainly you want to prepare yourself for that.
But if you're a head coach, you want an assistant that wants to be a head coach, because he's out there doing a lot of the work.
Right. But I was always in the moment, as far as, you know, this is my particular role this year, and I think that really helped me learn as much as I possibly could, because they knew I was there to be their assistant and to support the program, and in turn, what I got from them, all of them, was just an incredible education on how this is done, you know.
Well, Coach, we're going to come back. We're going to go to Dave and Buster's top 10 plays. We're going to talk about more of Sandia's trip to the Blue Trophy.
Wonderful.
That's well hit. And it is gone. A solo homer for Jack White. No doubt about it. I think it part of a 2-run homer for White. Scores Monk ahead of him.
Here's a grounder. Schilling makes the grab. He scooped that up. Play over to first is Elner. Got him. Hayden.
Up the middle. They're going to go to second for 1. They turn to first for 2. It's a double play. Fastball pulled down the line at third. A nice play by Valdez. Can he get up and get him? He does. Put a star on that one. What a play at third base by Valdez. Oh, it's the center. Ibarra going back, still going. Settle under it. The catch. Tag. We're going to have a throw at third. He's out by a mile at third base.
Atari, look at the grab. Rodriguez says, give me that. This blasted to right field, diving to make the grab. Look at that play. Tag up to
The reliever to trade outs for runs here in the game. That's well hit into left, and it is gone. Grand slam home run for Jack White. His second long ball of the game, no doubt about it.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.ProviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs.
We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
Hey, the juice is coming right at you.
Focusing on everything on and off the court. Life, music, fashion.
Music? Really?
Do you got the juice?
Do you have the juice?
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Lee Kelly, the head girls basketball coach at Sandia High School, and also the 2017 state champions. And you know, we kind of hit highs and lows in that first segment, but you know, beginning of the year, you know, exciting. I mean, a tough schedule. I mean, I'm looking at, you know, you're 6-0. Things are riding well. What's your mindset right there, going 6-0 coming in?
Very happy with the start. Knew we were setting up to go down to Las Cruces. So you know, there's more than likely you're going to either see either Coach Abney or Coach Maya. One way or the other, you're going to see them. The Centennial had a great program this year. And then also lurking in that bracket was Rio Rancho, was the other northern school that went down to the Las Cruces tournament. We had gone there the year before, so the girls were comfortable with it. I knew they wanted to win.
So you had been there before, so so it's a 2-day trip, or two nights?
2 nights.
Two nights, which is 3 days, 2
right.
nights. So.
Yeah, so we end up playing Coach Abney's team in the final at Centennial High School, and the Bulldogs, Las Cruces Bulldogs, and played just a heck of a game. Missed the front end of a free throw, and they get the ball, and we end up fouling them, but they aren't in the bonus yet, so they have 2 seconds on the clock. We knew it was going to Coach's daughter. Sure enough, it does, and she's a wonderful player. Went left to right across the lane with a runner. Right in. And so we were set home with a loss there.
We opened the year up with Las Cruces boys and girls that played at Highland High School.
Okay.
So I got to watch Coach Abney, and I watched her, watch her play, and at that time I thought that was a team that could contend for the state championship right then. And Abney's a great, again, you talk about Maya. I mean, you got, it's as you're learning, there's great coaches, boys and girls that are.
And for the Bulldogs, they unfortunately the game that we played them is when their point guard went down with her season-ending knee injury. So they were able to earn the 4th seed in the state tournament, having lost their starting point guard, who was one of their 1 or 2 best players. Right after Christmas, so very impressive. And they lost to La Cueva. I think it was in overtime in the state tournament. I mean, they had a great year.
So then you have to go. You come back and play another tight game. Is that right?
Yeah. So we got seeded 5 in the Metro tournament, and Rio Rancho had got seeded 12th because they had opened up. Talk about a tough schedule. They had opened up with just a murderer's row. I think I could be wrong, but I think
what a great job he's done.
Oh yeah, and I think in the first week, literally their first week of play, and I could be slightly off, but I believe they played us, they played West Mesa, and they played El Dorado. I could be slightly off, but so they had started with this incredibly tough schedule, so they had a record that I think wasn't indicative of their talent. But any given day with the athleticism they're able to put out there. They can play with anybody, and we ended up up 1 point, played it straight up, we had to help off on a drive, and one of their wing players nailed a 3 from the corner, and so that was our second buzzer beater. We lost in a row. So
yeah, back to back.
Back to back.
Like a week, 1 week later.
Yeah, back to back. It was tough.
And then the Metro tournament's always, you know, you don't want to lose.
Nah.
I mean, because then you become going that other
the
part
silver
of
bracket,
silver bracket, and that's where coaching comes in.
Yeah.
It's because they're playing on Wednesday, Thursday, and you go into that other side, and it's hard to win the consolation side of it.
I was really proud of them, and I think that it was that 3-game stretch after we lost was indicative of the qualities that ended up helping us win the whole thing. It was disappointing. You know, we wanted to win the Cruces tournament, lost on a buzzer beater, wanted to do well in Metro, lost on a buzzer beater, got sent to silver bracket, but they just continued to do what they were supposed to do, and we went out through the silver bracket and took it for what it was.
Well, you brought up a team, West Mesa, and we got to speak a few minutes on
absolutely.
What Manny Ortero did with them is still doing this.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It was like, and I got to watch I actually sat and watched the finals of that El Dorado West Mesa game.
Okay.
And I was just watching, because they were never in the lead in the game.
Right.
They were always behind, and all of a sudden you could just see.
Yeah.
And as all coaches say, you don't let a team get momentum. No matter who, whatever, you let them get momentum. They believe they can win.
Yeah.
And then they come back to bite you. And that was exactly what happened in that game there. I mean, it was like you could just see each quarter they were just getting better, and you could just see, all right, we're going to beat this team. And El Dorado was pretty, as you know.
Oh, yes. They were. So with West Mesa, it was one of those, I mean, to relate it to us as well.
Did y'all play them during the year?
We didn't. We didn't play them.
Yeah,
we didn't. Our chance probably would have been in a Metro type scenario. I can't remember the bracket exactly, but you know, one of the things, and I was talking to you at the break about injuries with our football team last year. I mean, one of the things that you can't control was we somehow got through this entire season without any significant injuries. As you know, West Mesa.
Or sickness.
Well,
no, you have a little sickness, but I'm just saying.
We did run through, gosh, it might have been over Metro. We did run through, the flu hit hard one week, hard 1 week. We did have to deal with that, but got through it. But as you know, with West Mesa, their lead player, Varos, was injured, and you know, you just hate to see it, and then points out to you again how lucky you are if you're us and somehow you make it through with none. And the good thing is I believe she's a rising junior, right? I think she's a rising junior, and so we haven't seen the end of her. But that was heartbreaking when she was unable to continue.
Well, so Metro, it's funny how that Metro champion, you probably have 2 more games before district plays, or maybe because you have 6 teams, the district starts really pretty quick.
Yeah, gosh, I think you're right. I think we had about 2 or 3 games. Volcano Vista was a tough game that we were able to pull out. I'm not exactly sure what the other 2 were, but I remember, I think right afterwards, I believe we had Volcano Vista.
Well, now you're kind of battle tested. I mean, you know that you can compete on, you know, you played the Southern schools on their courts. You played close games and come up. Close games are great earlier in the year because you learn from them. They're bad at the end of the year because they kill momentum.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean,
absolutely. One of the things, you know, we I have a great assistant coach. And so, you know, after we lose to Rio Rancho, it's our second buzzer beater in a row. I just said, "What do you think? We're going to be okay? Is this? Are they going to be able to bounce back?" And it's been one of the things. I've had this team for 2 years, and it's been one of the things that's just amazed me. I get down, I get frustrated, you know, and they just come back. They just come back ready to work every single time. And it's just amazing. They're just very tough-minded, goal-oriented kids. They just don't get fazed by it. It's incredible.
Well, But it comes back to what is they believe in, because you're a Sandia community guy, and that's what, of all the interviews I've done and talked with people, it was the first time that I've heard somebody say, that I'm a Sandia guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you had Coach Johns, you got Frank Castile, you got even Perea, you got all these guys that they never come out and say, like, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to do, and this is.
When I interviewed for the position, obviously I knew the people because I'd worked at Sandia for about a decade, and I did make a point to tell them that I'm not interviewing for any other job, whether I get this or not. I was working for Coach Broussard at the time with the boys, and I was loving it. I'd worked with the girls for a long time, and I really wanted the job, but I made it clear to them that I said, whether I get this or not, I'll be here next year, and I'll be here the year afterwards. It's a school that means a great deal to me.
That's awesome, and so back to that always I always say the point guard is an extension of the head coach.
That's right.
Okay, that mentality. Well, it seemed like the players are saying, look, this is hey, we're not gonna let you down. Don't get down on us because we're fine.
Yeah.
Let's get this Sandia program going, and it was fun for me. I mean, I'm outside watching because I'm thinking that all of a sudden here's you always think of that district, in most cases, not to be a deal, it's Sandia and Eldorado. I mean, La Cueva and Eldorado.
Oh yeah.
I mean when you look at history of it,
oh, yeah.
Kabbalah made a chance when she was in there that she put she made it like there was a three-way race. Well, and I saw Eldorado play in the Metro tournament, and I thought, well, this team's pretty good. I did a couple games with Perea and saw them, and it just seemed like you just kind of you were always under the radar.
Yeah, we were.
And actually the one that really actually brought my attention to it was actually Adam Dill. I mean, he was watching the girl. He said, "Man, this Sandia team is they might be a team that can contend." And I said, "Well, they got to get through the brackets." And so district play starts, and it kind of looked like it was going to be an Eldorado La Cueva district.
Yeah, absolutely. We played Eldorado. We got a home game versus them, and we had our on-ball defender, a senior this year, Inea Broussard, Coach Broussard's niece. One of his nieces was guarding Sydney, and man, she just caught a ball the wrong way, and she couldn't continue with her thumb, and Sydney saw blood in the water. And she started going, and so we ended up losing that one. We played La Cueva at home, and were down significantly, got all the way back to overtime, but they beat us, I think, by about 4 in overtime. And so at that point, we're third, and with 2 home losses to those teams, and still felt, like we were very competitive, was able to beat Eldorado at Eldorado that second half of district play, which was just a huge confidence booster. Beat them by 1 point, I believe. They had an inbounds. They had the ball under their basket, a few seconds left, and we actually stopped. I think because we kept knocking the ball out of bounds, we stopped like 3 inbounds plays in a row under their basket. Ended up winning by 1. We did lose to La Cueva a second time, but the girls really felt like, and I felt like, we were very competitive with them. I felt like I knew how good they were as compared to the rest of the state. So not exactly the record we wanted against them. We got 1 win versus them in 4 games versus those 2 schools, but we felt like we were competitive.
Well, we were going to come back and we're going to talk about that district championship. And,
okay.
And then we'll move right up to the state
there
championship.
There you go. Okay.
Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico High School athletics. Terry's been a local farmers agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, So are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you. Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan-favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Now there's an easier way to find deals at great New Mexico restaurants. DineNM.com. Just use your smartphone. Go to the site, download the app. No purchase or printer necessary. DineNM.com. The easiest way to save money when dining out.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got special guest today is Lee Keddick. Excuse me.
No problem.
I'm messing up. I went through and didn't make it through there. But anyway, the head girls basketball coach at Sandy and also the 2017 state champions. And you know, now we're at district time.
Right.
District championship time.
Yep.
Okay. And there's so many. You can go round and round. Should there be a district tournament with the selection, the seeding, and everything? And in this case, it proved that district championships do mean something because you fought your way. Had to win 3 games in 1 week to do it. Four actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
So
you're 6 teams.
Yeah. So we were in a 6-team district. So because we finished, El Dorado actually beat La Cueva. Meaning that we couldn't tie for second. We actually would have gotten second, I think, on the points with El Dorado, but El Dorado went ahead and pulled an upset versus La Cueva, giving them second to themselves, and so we were seeded third.
And that's huge. And I think when you go to the state tournament, you always think of you just really want to be in the top 8.
Yeah.
That's right. Everybody wants to be number 1 or not, and sometimes somebody don't even want to be number 1. Okay, as long as you're in that top 8.
I agree with that. Top 8's what I always shoot for.
Right, and you just don't want to go on the road.
Right. They can send you anywhere. So.
So your momentum is. You have to beat El Dorado. What are we?
Yeah.
El Dorado, La Cueva, and all of a sudden. Kind of like Rio Rancho and men's the year before, there was there's momentum going on. That at that point, did you think that you could? Before I go with that, we got some highlights of that state, that championship district game.
Okay.
You got to take over. You got to let me know if you.
Okay, so we're early on here in the game. In this particular district. Championship game, we really came out shooting and playing.
This is at La Cueva too.
This is at La Cueva. The way the district tournament was set up was they had the whole week off, and in a lot of respects, you can think to yourself, that's a good thing, but sometimes it hurts. That's halftime. So we were up 25-30.
That's a good way to go in at halftime, right?
Yeah, we're up 25-39 there, and that was my point guard. That was my point guard hitting a halftime shot, and I think we got up close to 20 points in that game. But La Cueva made a comeback, started pressing us, very difficult, and showed the qualities that got them to the state title game as well. And really made it a heck of a game there down the stretch. And it's just a question, and you have the district tournament. It's tempting. Everybody's ailing. There's injuries. There's this. Do you want the whole week off, or is it better to play? And I think for us, knowing how my girls are and how they don't do well with downtime, I think it was actually, in hindsight, it was better for us to play.
That was my whole point. I was going. I told you to go pick your brain a little bit during the break. And it is, you think about it. Playing, I think, during that time is actually if you're winning. Okay. And you're also in a higher seed.
Right.
Does that make sense? I mean, if you're in the top 8, then that you want to play those games because you get. Because again, La Cueva had to wait a week.
Mm-hmm.
You guys came on fire.
We were.
I mean, I was just watching. That was like that was. What I was really surprised, Prey had nobody on your guys, on your people.
Yeah.
I mean, and Prey does such a good job on defense that you did some good things on offense to get that wide open shots like that.
Yeah, we had kids. We had kids that normally score that were scoring, but then on top of it in that first half, we have kids that are maybe more defensive minded that were also shooting threes. So when we do that, we're pretty tough to play.
So right after that game, we have the selection of seating show, and then it's like the real pressure's on.
That's right.
At that point, I mean, because it's one and done. At that point, either you win, you keep moving. If you don't, you lose. And was there any undue pressure for you having that, or just the experience of the 10 years being in that situation? Your thoughts at that time? You got a great team.
Yeah.
Momentum's going high. Was your team happy just because they just won the championship, and you can have a mental letdown, right, and not get better during the next 2 weeks?
There's certainly pressure. We got the 7th seed. 10 was Coach Mabry and Cibola, who are
that speaks for herself.
Yeah, they're
state championship.
They're Cibola, and I was speaking to you, I think, off the camera a little bit. I think having a tough draw helped us in a lot of
focus.
Yeah,
there you go.
They know better. My kids knew better than to think anything lightly about the Cibola Cougars. They knew better, and that goes a lot to my seniors, who all year helped keep us focused, and so. Were we really happy to make that run in the district tournament? I mean, you look at the district tournament trophy that they send over to you that you take home with you, and it's El Dorado, La Cueva engraved on it, and so to break that and to pull ourselves in there was huge for us. But like you said, the next day, you get the Cibola Cougars, and I think that we were mature enough, my coaches, myself, and the team, to know that it would be ridiculous to take them lightly, and that helped us focus.
So, and I even heard it on my selection seating show, and some of the people saying it was basically Hobbs and Clovis. I mean, excuse me, not Carlsbad. I mean, I had to put my Clovis.
I got you. Yeah.
But Hobbs and Carlsbad to lose. I mean,
right.
I just said it was like they were the 2 dominating teams in the state. Their record, I mean, their only losses were like.
So Carlsbad had gone undefeated until, and I believe I'm correct because they had beaten them earlier. Carlsbad, I believe, had gone undefeated until Hobbs won the regular season district tournament game, and then the next day played a tiebreaker, I think, in Artesia. And so they literally had gone undefeated, and Hobbs, at the end of the season, beats them 2 or 3 times in a row.
Right.
And Hobbs and Carlsbad, they're interesting too, because you can't say, well, they're southern schools and they play this way or that way. They play totally opposite of each other. Hobbs plays up and down with incredible athleticism, And Carlsbad, uses their size, and they really stay disciplined in their zone and have just some physically imposing girls, So it's a challenge because you can't even say, well, we can prepare for both of them because they play totally opposite of each other, and they were imposing.
Well, so you beat Cibola,
right?
Tough game. It was,
absolutely.
They fought. Coach, Coach Mabry, she's been there before.
Absolutely.
And you have to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a great mindset, great victory to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then your first game is Carlsbad, and I'm telling you, I'll be perfectly honest,
absolutely.
man. I'll be. When I woke up while we were at the pit, and we were listening to the scores, and I'm like, what happened?
Right.
And so,
and
we're going to go with this a little bit. I think we're going to go ahead right now, Josh, with this Carlsbad game before we finish up. So, and then we'll come back and finish up with the state championship. But here we are at Santa Ana Star. Is that correct?
That's right. So this is our quarterfinal game. We're in black there, of course, and you'll see. We'll see when they. Oh no! I'm sorry. This is El Dorado.
El Dorado.
Yeah, sorry.
So we got the wrong. We'll try to.
I was going to say, Steve, I don't see the same size that Carlsbad was.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. So they have. They can run.
Look at this score. 8 seconds ago. 25-24.
Yeah. They can run. Carlsbad can run 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Just enormous girls coming to play in the front court, and we're not big. And they also have the one down here, 32. Her name's, I'm forgetting her name, is extremely athletic, and so it was very important for us to control the ball and to rebound. So we end up here. I can give you a little inside. We end up here, and I believe she makes both of these.
Right.
And it's a good thing she does because they have an incredible point guard, the young lady right there on the. Or what is this? Oh, Madi gets the rebound. Excuse me. This gives me a great opportunity. So what just happened there is stuff that Madi had done before. When we're in late game situations, 22 on our team, Madi Sol has a habit of getting these offensive rebounds. So I'm ready to call my timeout.
Right.
So we're right. So I think there was 2 free throws there. So right here, I told Madi, don't even get close to her. Madi got close to her. Luckily, there wasn't any contact, so they didn't call it. But that did count. So we end up getting out of there with a 1-point win.
So actually, with the 1 point was a 4-point, but they made a basket, and again she makes those 2 free throws.
It was a great teaching moment because we got away with the win there. But I made sure Madi Sol knew when I'm talking about don't be anywhere near her, nowhere near. So it was a great teaching moment.
Well, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the state championship over the next 2 games. We're going to talk about the next 2 games.
Perfect.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs.
We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm Agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
Hey, the juice is coming right at you.
Focusing on everything on and off the court. Life, music, fashion.
Music? Really?
Do you got the juice?
Do you have the juice?
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on. Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you. Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Hey, I'm AJ Bramlett.
And I'm Kevin Banks.
And you got the juice.
Adam Smile. Oh, are you sure that was good? Here you go, I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass it. Grab that.
Oh.
Grab that.
Now there's an easier way to find deals at great New Mexico restaurants. DineNM.com. Just use your smartphone. Go to the site, download the app. No purchase or printer necessary. DineNM.com. The easiest way to save money when dining out.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.ProviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Hey, welcome back to the SteveDavis Show. We got Lee Keddick here, head basketball coach at Sandy High School girls, and also the state championship, 2017 state championship. And we're going to finally get to that moment.
All right.
We're going to get, so, big win against Carlsbad. I mean, emotions. I mean, it just like spread across. You know, there's 5 venues playing that week, and it just spread like.
Yeah.
So how do you keep the emotion? I mean, basketball, you can say whatever you want, girls or boys, basketball is emotional and big upset, you know. How do you keep them focused for a team that is in your district coming up?
Yeah, it's always a concern, right? You pull off an upset like that, and like you said, it was the talk of the town, and you know, especially with social media.
Of the state, not the town,
of the state. Right.
I mean, I'm talking. It was like
it was a concern, but again, senior leadership, and I think that it helped, quite frankly, that it was a district rival to keep us focused, because state tournament, summertime, wherever, if we're playing one of our district rivals, the girls are going to tend to be focused. That sort of natural rivalry helps you focus.
Well, you're playing, let me go back on my memory. So you'll be playing on Thursday against El Dorado. So afternoon game?
That was a morning game.
Morning game.
Yeah, I believe so. I hope I'm right. I think that was a 9:45.
I was going to say it's either afternoon or morning game. So, and again, a team, you know, just came up with an emotional victory, getting up in the morning and having to go to Santa Ana.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. We Wednesday, the girls were obviously in need of rest, and so Wednesday, one of the other things about playing a district title that just occurred to me was you do feel more comfortable, district opponent. You do feel more comfortable just saying, hey, we're going to shoot around today, but the main thing is rest, hydrate, and eat, because you
already know their tendencies. They know the tendencies.
Right.
It's just a matter of maybe tweaking something
right.
here to maybe catch them off guard or something.
We had played them, 3 times at that point, and so that did make it in a way, made me feel more comfortable letting them shoot around, get the aches and pains out, but then sending them home to sleep, because we knew what we had to do to play them.
Well, we got some clips of that.
Okay.
So we kind of put it in that last one, but here we go. We're in Santa Ana Star.
Right. So going down the end of the game here, Kara, who usually that's out of character for her, throws it away, and at this point, what I'm thinking is, this kid with the ball here, Sydney, is capable.
Oh, Candelaria.
Yeah, she's capable of winning. So that goes up front of the rim. We don't rebound. And there's Madi. Again, I told you before in the last one.
She always seemed to come up with big plays.
And I was ready to call the timeout because she just has a knack for doing it. And so here, breathing a little easier, but I know that, like I said, that's a first-team All-State player. Sydney is 2 years in a row.
Well, big difference. If she makes that free throw, makes that three, it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, and it was just barely off of the front of the rim there. That could have easily gone down. So here, just talking about taking care of the ball. How many timeouts one of my habits is to save a lot of timeouts. So you can see there we have 2 left. Just letting Jalen know, if you're even remotely close to 4 seconds here, call a timeout and just say it. And so we're just stacked up here trying to get the ball to Sapira. So that's our point guard there. Good free throw shooter. Good ball handler. So we're able to wanted to get her Kara the ball there probably. Kara was more of a diversion going up the floor.
You go up, and so you win the game now. It's, Thursday, so you get another day off.
Right.
So and then, of course, and I don't know, did you play before LaQuava played Hobbs? Or
we did. So we were able to go eat lunch, and then we came back. And, they give you those seats in the front there, and very familiar with LaQuava, obviously. Joking around with Coach Pere, I saw him in the hallway, and he's an awesome guy, and he said, man, I'm really happy for you, and I just let him know, I'd seen Hobbs play a little bit the day before, and I just let him know that I had no doubt that they could play with him. I had no doubt in my mind that LaQuava was a team this year that could put out 5 legitimate scores, inside and out.
They're still young.
Yeah,
too.
And they're still young, and I just told him, he was very nice, passing him in the hallway, and I just made sure I let him know. I said, you can play with these guys. I know you can. So we watch them, and unfortunately, their captain gets injured. Delaney gets injured, and they had a freshman, Kaya, I believe her name is, makes some huge shots against Hobbs, and then broke my heart just for young lady, because she's an amazing young woman. The Hobbs player gets right to the basket there to tie up that game, and the layup just goes out, and she's an incredibly classy girl. She actually went up. It was either to my assistant coach, because we were leaving the same time. She went up to my assistant coach. This is Amaya from Hobbs. She had just lost this game, and she had missed this layup. She'd done right what her coach wanted to, and she'd gotten right to the basket. Very athletic, incredibly difficult to guard at the basket. And it's just one of these things where a layup just came off the other end of the rim. And she went up to, she made a point to go up. It was either to my captain or my assistant coach. I can't remember. I think it was my captain, and my assistant coach saw it and went up to her and and after just losing this game as a junior in high school, went up to her and said, hey, best of luck. I enjoyed watching you guys play, or something to that effect. Best of luck in the state championship game. And then she went, and her dad was waiting there to console her. But to have the wherewithal to come and congratulate us after that had just happened, got a lot of respect for her.
Well, I'll tell you that. So here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
You just played Laclava and beat them in their home court.
Yep.
Oh
no, that was at their home court.
Yeah, right. You beat them at their home court, and
Yeah.
then you're looking. You're dreaming of Bears for the next.
Right.
You have a day off.
You have
a day off and prepare. So where are you at right now?
Very similar situation that we just spoke about. Rest, being at the pit with our gas tanks as full as they could possibly be for what I knew was going to be a war. Oh, absolutely. And I didn't expect anything less. They have an incredibly tough senior that's graduating, Nora, and watching her play against Hobbs, and then knowing what she was going to bring. And like I said, Inea for us, Broussard, the senior, is for me a great on-ball defensive player, and the refs, as they should in that game, were letting us play. And man, Nora was just a beast that game, getting to the basket and collapsing our defense. And I knew that was going to be the case. So the day before, it was just about making sure my players were as energized as they possibly could. We knew what they were going to do. They knew what we were going to do.
At that point, I've always said in my deal is that if you're not ready to play this game, there's not a lot. There's not about lots of hype. It's just about mental preparation. And I think, Josh, we got a little bit of that state championship final here. If you can pull it up there. There we go, in the pit.
So that's Marisol there. Ends up with, that's Inea there. Marisol, 22, ends up with 18 points in this game. That's her there. She'll be a senior next year. One of our returning captains. That's Sapira with a 3.
So you've been working on the 3. Every time I turn around, you guys are hitting 3s.
That's the big deal.
Look at that crowd. That crowd looks good. What a feeling, huh?
Yeah. One of my deals when I came in was to trust them on offense.
So that moment right there.
Yeah.
What were your mind? What were you thinking when you were dealing? I mean, you have so many emotions, and you just pray a good friend. I mean, it's too bad that either team somebody had to lose because your guys battled the whole way. And,
that's right.
And you made a great point. 3 of your 14 were in the top 4 in your district.
Yeah.
And if anybody would have said that a week before, then
I
would have called them all liars.
Yeah,
okay?
That's right. The feeling there, initially, I know just from watching, my phone exploded after this. Everybody sending me videos and different things, and my initial reaction was I just sort of dropped to my knees. I was flashing back to 2010 when I was coaching with Coach Kabbalah, when we had beaten El Dorado. We were on that same bench, the same away bench in the dark color, and I flashed back a little bit to that and to see Sandia back there. So proud of my coaches, unbelievably proud of my girls. I think, happy for my community, happy for my bosses, just pride and happiness.
Well, guess what? It's over now. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Start all over.
It's already started.
Yeah. You got, we got about a minute here, so I just want to. Hey, it's great and it's good, but I guess reality is it's going to be 2018 next year.
Yeah.
And what can we look for 2018?
So we have we graduate 3 players, and that's not necessarily a whole ton of people to graduate. But I was actually talking this with Coach Broussard the other day, talking about what his team would look like, what mine would look like, and we don't graduate that many players, but the amount of minutes that they played was huge. So there's a huge amount of minutes to be had, and for me, we've got some rising seniors. We have one returning captain, Marisol Silva. My point guard comes back, Sapira Bussard, and then we've got the 6, 7, 8 people that were on the bench coming back that are eager to earn those minutes. We got some great kids coming in. So for me, the goal is to try to put together as good of a summer this summer as we had last summer, and it's exciting.
Well, Lee, hey, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show with me, and looking forward to next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Bet.
Thanks for having me.